What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Will It Survive, a series in which we take Mediterranean, subtropicals, and even a few tropicals, and we put them up against our mild Canadian climate. Now, I say mild, but we still get, on average, 2 weeks below freezing temperatures, moderate snowfall every year or two, up to 3 feet on rare occasions. Then, in the winter, we also have about 3-4 months of darkness, gray skies, low sunlight, lots of rain, and pretty low temperatures as well. And then we get summer times that are 2 to 3 months without rain. Makes for a challenge for most of these species that we are testing. Now, last year when I was starting all my testing and doing my cold hardy testing on the species that I did test, I hadn't really committed to the idea of doing a YouTube channel. So unfortunately, I didn't record as much information as I would have liked to share with you, but I feel like it's still important to share these with you, and we can look back on them next year and subsequent years as well. So in today's episode, we're looking at the guabiju, or Myrcianthes pungens. And this tree I bought with the intent of cold hardy testing it, but I wanted to wait until I had seeds or had air layered it or propagated it in some way and had a backup. That all changed last year when I seen somebody down in Seattle, close to us in the Pacific Northwest here, and very similar climate, had one just planted outside under an oak tree, and it survived with very minimal damage. So I kind of threw caution to the wind, and I put a potted specimen out in my backyard here. It's kind of sheltered by our garage and has a little bit of a wind buffer from our greenhouse and the big oak here. I also did one outside in our front garden, and I'll make sure to show you that. I have actually a picture of it covered in a thick coating of frost, showing just how durable this plant has proven to be. So we will take a look at that, and I'll discuss what temperatures we hit real quick. So having a potted specimen and an in-ground specimen, both out in the open, survive our mild winter. We had a brief dip down to -8, but it quickly rose up to, I believe it was like 1 or 2 degrees the next day. It did take a little bit of cold burn on the leaves, but no wood damage, and it held all its leaves right through until spring flush happened and replaced all the old leaves. At that point, they got brittle and fell away. This plant here was in my greenhouse, and it was flowering for the last 2 years in there, but didn't set any fruit. And this year, I ripped it out of the ground and put it in this 10-gallon pot here, and we have some fruit sets on it. So I'll show you that real quick here. So not only is it cold hardy here in the Pacific Northwest, it is looking to be a reliable fruiter here for us too. The foliage on this in the spring, you can see a little bit of it here. It gets its purples and reds, and it's just stunning. I have another branch here that's grafted on from a different source, just to add some genetic diversity to the tree here, and I hope that the cross-pollination will help a bit as well with better fruit sets in the future. The only thing I don't really like about the plant is these sharp leaves. It's almost like they're thorny, how sharp these leaves get. But if the fruits are good and it's an evergreen tree here for us, not going to complain at that. Alright, let's take a look at the tree out front. This species is native to South America, mainly between Brazil, Paraguay, Uruguay, and northern Argentina. You'll often find it growing in subtropical and temperate forests in that region. It's pretty adaptable when it comes to climate. Myrcianthes pungens can handle mild frosts and is reported to survive down to -4 degrees Celsius, but we've seen it down to -8 this last winter here. So we're proving that it's a bit more hardy than it's seen in its native range. There in its range, the temperatures usually vary between 5 degrees Celsius and 30 degrees Celsius, so it doesn't really see a lot of those temperatures. The real test will see during our prolonged colds how much it's affected during then. Okay, hidden behind this brush cherry, we have my outside tree. It was planted in the ground, completely out in the open. It's doing very well out here. I think this one's probably a year, maybe two away from flowering. Just judging off the size of the other greenhouse growing tree and how big it got before flowering. Quickly add a picture of it here, so that you can see here the amount of frost on it. And look, it's even still got some of those winter leaves on here that just didn't drop yet. You can see that they're a little bit damaged, but it was very minimal. There's a couple more here. That's about the extent of the frost damage right there. So definitely a proven winner here so far. Now, we do get those bizarre winters like a couple years back where we got down to -15. So that'll be the true test when we do get one of those cold winters. I'm hoping that it just takes it no problem. I may end up doing a tarp and Christmas lights over it, but then I may as well just leave it out here and not protect it and see what it can really take at the same time. We'll see. Alright, now let's go look at the other one here that's out front. This is the potted specimen that stayed out. This one has a lot nicer new growth on it. Look at those colors. So vibrant. And again, hasn't flowered this one, but it's coming. So if you're in a warm, temperate, or subtropical area, this could be a real interesting tree to try in your area. It adds a real flash of color, it's edible fruit, evergreen glossy leaves, all around a great option for you to try. Make sure that you keep an eye out for more videos as we have more rare fruit testing outside, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Happy growing, guys.